Genius sorcerer Gaius laments that with these 3 magical crests he was born with, creation, power, and rapid firing, he cannot grow any stronger. So he decides to reincarnate in the future. Reborn 5,000 years later as Matthias Hildesheimer, he gains the 4th crest Close Combat, regarded in this time as the weakest crest. Matthias travels to a city where he discovers magical knowledge has drastically decreased. He meets fellow Academy hopefuls Luri and Alma, and enchants a magical sword for Luri, who develops a crush on him. After defeating Knight Captain Guile with his sword and showing his advanced combat magic, Matthias is accepted into the academy with Luri and Alma. Headmaster Edward asks him to teach the other students his wordless casting, the ability to cast spells without speaking, a skill normally rejected in academic circles, in time for the next inter-academy competition. At the competition against the prestigious First Academy, Matthias realizes one of their students, Devilis, is a demon and defeats it after exposing it to the audience. He realizes the decline of magical knowledge and wordless casting must have been caused by demons to make humanity weaker, after he himself almost drove demons extinct 5,000 years ago. The king personally thanks Matthias for defeating a demon, even though to Matthias it was barely a challenge. For his reward, Matthias requests access to the kingdom's dungeons. The king reveals the most powerful sorcerers of the kingdom vanished after the demon's defeat, causing Matthias to realize they must have been demons who infiltrated human society to destabilize it. Now unable to keep hiding, Matthias reasons they will assemble armies to attack the kingdom. He thus gains the king's permission to continue teaching wordless casting, while gathering materials necessary to cast a magical barrier of protection over the city. To gather resources, Matthias decides to raid a dungeon with Luri and Alma to increase their combat power, teaching Alma to use a bow and Luri how to craft and enchant weapons and armor. After reaching floor 10 and increasing their levels, Matthias descends to a much deeper floor alone to gather a mantite for the barrier. While there, he also defeats a boss monster, his magical power coming to the attention of several demons. Matthias learns from Luri and Alma that his former identity as Gaius is now worshipped as a god of magic. After selling the boss monster's Magistone, which Matthias considers too small for the barrier, but everyone else considers big enough to be a national treasure, he splits the money equally with Luri and Alma. 2 demons appear in the city to avenge the death of Devilis. Luri and Alma distract the weaker demon, allowing Matthias to defeat the stronger demon by himself. The king once again rewards them, Matthias with the location of every known dungeon and Luri and Alma with a cash reward. Matthias realizes a demon watching the throne room with a surveillance spell and manages to injure the demon on the other side. The king recognizes the demon's voice as Erhard, his former mage captain. With Erhard's location discovered, Matthias decides to find them. But as it would take a year to travel the distance, Matthias takes Luri and Alma into the mountains and introduces them to Iris the Darkness Dragon, who, despite being unimaginably scary to the girls, is one of Gaius' defeated enemies. She revealed years previously an accidental magic explosion returned human society to the Dark Ages, explaining the current lack of magical knowledge, and also damaged her wings, which Matthias now repairs. With Iris carrying them, they travel the distance to Erhard in only 1 day. After breaking into Erhard's home, Matthias exposes him from behind his spell of invisibility. Refusing to believe Matthias is the one who injured him, due to how long it should have taken the real Matthias to travel from the academy to his home, Erhard attacks, but is quickly weakened by the magitoxin on Alma's arrows, severely affecting his magic and making defeating him easy. Matthias also exposes a stronger mist demon hiding in the forest, and after a short fight curses the demon with a spell to overload his magic, causing him to explode from the force of his own magic. The explosion uncovers a dragon vein pillar buried in the earth, a giant crystal that could tap into magic power trapped in the earth. The demons had planned to summon an army of monsters just outside the city. Returning to the academy, Matthias offers to vouch for Iris to attend the academy in human form. Due to her unfamiliarity with human behavior, Iris laughably fails the written exam, but is accepted after using unusual methods to defeat Guile in a sword duel, and her magic almost destroying the academy arena, which Matthias promises to repair. Preparation of the barrier goes slowly with only second academy students. The king requests First Academy to offer assistance, but Headmaster Fachus refuses to associate with their inferior academy. Matthias suggests holding a second inter-academy competition, and Fachus agrees provided Matthias does not compete. Fachus brings 50 students to compete against 5 from Second Academy, but they easily win using wordless casting. The king, who had been observing, sees that Fachus has been forcing his students to ignore his order to switch to wordless casting, and has Fachus arrested. Fachus's students, who did not like him much, happily cooperated with Second Academy and learned wordless casting. Still requiring a much larger Magistone for the barrier, Matthias takes the girls back into the dungeon, much deeper this time, and harnessing Iris's magic summons a dragon. After a long fight and using all their new skills, the dragon is defeated, and yields a Magistone of sufficient size for the barrier. Matthias also decides Iris has improved enough to become an official team member. Iris trains to be a better fighter with her human body, while Matthias and Lurie use the resources harvested from the dragon to make swords for themselves, a new bow for Alma, and a spear for Iris capable of withstanding her power. As Matthias begins constructing the barrier, the demons attack, forcing Matthias to put Lurie and Alma in charge of defending the city, while he and Iris begin distributing adamantine to complete the barrier. The students hold back the demons while Lurie crafts an arrow for Alma capable of defeating the first demon to attack. Following his death, more demons arrive, but Matthias, having finished the barrier in time, defeats them and then activates the barrier, preventing demons from being able to enter the city ever again. Unfortunately, while the demons are defeated, their army of monsters, summoned using another dragon vein pillar, is still outside the city. The students defeat the first wave of monsters using wordless casting, then retreat so Matthias and his team can take the more powerful monsters. The most powerful, a Void Eater that consumes other monsters to grow, is manipulated by Matthias, feeding it certain spells so that it will provide more useful resources once defeated. With the Void Eater defeated, Matthias decides he has to leave the academy to find the Dragon Vein Pillars. Edouard lets him leave but keeps him listed as a scholarship student. In case Matthias's adventures get him in political trouble, the academy can then protect him from. Alma, Lurie, and Iris also become scholarship students so they can go with him on his quest. Matthias decides to explore Melkia Dungeon, but learns since he reincarnated, an adventurer city has been built over it. Alma and Lurie try to avoid passing through a forest on the journey, but accidentally make Matthias curious when they mention an intelligent monster that lives there. As usual, Matthias easily defeats the monster. Reaching Melkia, the group learns the Melkian Lord has been making the city unsafe and controls the Adventurer Guild, meaning adventurers have to do whatever job he gives them. Most of the adventurers come back from a monster hunt severely injured, requiring Matthias to heal them. Matthias learns the previous lord passed away suspiciously, causing him to suspect the new lord is a demon, making adventuring as dangerous as possible to kill off strong adventurers. He sends a secret letter to Edouard to pass to the king, then plans to spend the next day hunting the monster that injured the adventurers. However, due to the awkwardness of all sharing a room together, Matthias and Lurie do not sleep at all. Regardless, they defeat the monster easily, drawing the attention of the Lord, who appears to have spies in the guild and even adventurers working directly for him who begin following them. Matthias easily leads the adventurers into a trap where Iris knocks them out. In response to his letter, the king sends his royal proxy, Ike, to order Matthias to take Lord Dokiel into custody. Defeating Dokiel's guards, Matthias arrests him and Ike takes him to face the king. Too late, Matthias realizes the demon controlling of Melkia have found the dungeon's dragon vein and summoned a monster horde outside the city. Entering the dungeon, Matthias leaves Lurie to cancel the spell placed on the vein by the demons, with Iris and Alma guarding her, while he locates the demon in charge. Eavesdropping on the demon's telepathic conversation, Matthias determines there's an even higher ranked demon somewhere else advising the demon on how to beat Matthias. It is also revealed the master knows about the sorcerer Gaius, meaning he is very old, smart, and powerful, but is unsure if Matthias is Gaius' reincarnation or not. Even with his master's help, the demon is overwhelmed by Matthias and beheaded. Lurie restores the vein, causing the summoned monsters to vanish. Via the remaining telepathy, Matthias and the Master Demon casually threaten each other and decide to meet in the future. Matthias becomes excited at the thought of an actual challenge. Matthias had captured the demon's magical signature in a Magistone, but requires a device he created thousands of years ago as Gaius to track him. The device is currently across the border in the Redenia Alliance, a group of allied kingdoms, and to cross the border he needs permission from the king. Returning home, they find the academy demolished to make way for a newly upgraded academy. With permission to cross the border, Matthias learns his devices in Folkia region, an area of such strong magic it is forbidden, except for A-rank adventurers. So Matthias agrees to take the A-rank promotion exam. The adventurer Gaius is ranked S, higher than A and obsessed with fighting. He nonchalantly promotes Iris, Luri and Alma, but insists on fighting Matthias, who has become famous as a demon slayer. Gaius proves to be the strongest opponent Matthias has faced, even able to copy some of Matthias' combat moves. Yet Matthias is still victorious. After advising Gaius how to get even stronger with spells, Gaius is grateful, yet irritated at having to read books to learn. He advises them Folkia is dangerous and adventurers frequently vanish. Straight away in Folkia, border guards try to secretly place demon tracking spells on them. Bandits attack but are swiftly put to sleep. Unfortunately, Luri and Alma also accidentally fall asleep. The group continues to Folkia, and they immediately sense 32 disguised devils, a type of demon that is weak at magic and prefers to fight in large groups. Rather than sneak past the town guards, Matthias uncovers a concealed tunnel. Emerging into Folkia, they see that citizens have all been hypnotized to keep them mindless while they work in a large factory. Protecting themselves from the spell, they infiltrate the factory and find they are refining Lankin demon ore. 1 ton of refined ore can make a bomb powerful enough to destroy an entire country. Though it is so rare, collecting 1 ton takes decades. Facing devils is dangerous as they can use sense share, so once as one devil is aware of them, all 32 of them will know as well. Using superior strategy, the group began killing the devils one by one until only 10 remain. The remaining 10 decide to use small pieces of ore to blow up the city, only for Gaius to suddenly appear. With only the devil's leader remaining, Gaius duels him alone, and Matthias is pleased to see Gaius has already improved his spellcasting. After a difficult fight, the devil is defeated, but not yet dead. The devil passes on a message he will soon be resurrected, then disintegrates. Matthias realizes the master demon responsible for Melkia was controlling the devil via necromancy to pass on the message. Gaius names the factory foreman the new Lord of Folkia. Continuing on their journey, they reach the ruins hiding the device, and Matthias is forced to conceal the fact it was he who built the ruins. Using his device, Matthias confirms the master demon's name is Zardius, and he was sealed long ago because he was too powerful to be killed. Matthias is certain he is too weak to defeat Zardius, and even if he was strong enough, their battle would likely destroy the world and push humanity to extinction. Desperate, Matthias uses the device to search for a sword he forged long ago, and finds it is somewhere back home in the king's treasury. Zardius finally resurrects and flies to the kingdom to stop Matthias from finding the sword. Alma and Luri search the treasury while Iris is almost killed instantly. Matthias is able to keep up with Zardius, but is also injured and fears that defeating Zardius and saving humanity might just cost him his life. Zardius reveals that all the demons Matthias has defeated have been resurrected inside the barrier to kill Luri and Alma. Luri and Alma are saved by Edward and the academy students, and throw the sword at Matthias, but Zardius stabs him. Matthias comes back to life, revealing the sword was the most powerful item he has ever created, for if the wielder dies, their life force is used to resurrect them. Zardius is defeated, but before dying warns Matthias another demon will just replace him. The king once again gives them access to the treasury as a reward. Matthias discovers an adamantine arrow he crafted in his previous life, but the matching bow is missing. He tracks the bow to the Isis company, who, not knowing the value of adamantine, melted it down, so Matthias buys all their scrap metal as well as some magic stones for the girls. Guile informs Matthias of an incident where the neighboring Sahil Empire was attacked by an army of artificial doll soldiers. Due to the complex magic, Matthias deduces a demon is responsible and may be in control of Sahil. Later, Lurie suspects Matthias might kiss her, but really he just made her a necklace from one of the jewels. Having fully recovered, everyone decides to set off to Sahil for their next adventure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to let us know by leaving a like. Subscribe for more stories and check out other stories here. If you'd like to hear me more, feel free to check out my Twitter and Instagram.